Hello, everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. And today I'm going to be doing a mid-month wrap-up. So my mid-month wrap-up is a little bit late, but I still wanted to go ahead and do it, just because I didn't get to do it last time, and I haven't been doing like weekly wrap-ups. And even though you can follow along with what I'm reading, for the most part, if I don't forget to talk about something in my daily reading vlogs, I do know that not everybody's probably going to watch all of those, and that they might want everything in just one little video. So that's what this is for, just to kind of show you how I'm doing and how I'm not doing. Because even though I've read quite a bit, I feel like I'm way behind this month. Okay, so this here is everything kind of in a nutshell so that you can see like everything that I have going on, and then I will make it a little bit bigger, and I will put all the things that I have read back to where you can see them, and I will probably lessen the transparency on the ones that I haven't read, so that way the ones that I have read will pop out. But I just wanted you to see this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I see whenever I get on my little canvas sheet and look at it and look at all the ones that aren't transparent and think I am like very, very far behind, because the Everbloom Academy, I've still got all of these to read to, you know, get everything. I think, and I'm pretty sure I think that I've got everything on here that I need to have read for that and everything. So, yeah, I'm feeling very, very behind. I did really well on Folklore February because I did do two picture books, and I have a book picked out for the Mardi Gras readathon that's going on right now that I am currently in the middle of, and then these are just a couple of extra reads that I had and stuff. But yeah, I'm feeling super behind because as of filming this, today is the 15th, and I just thought I would be a lot farther in with my reading, but the beginning of the month just did not go my way. It was so packed full of things. It was so busy, and so I got behind. I've done a lot of reading, as you can tell. I mean, I have read things. So, I mean, I've accomplished stuff, but just for myself, I feel behind and everything. But yeah. So, I will be right back with things transferred around so that you can see the ones that I have actually read, and I'll talk about those. Okay, so this is more of an accurate depiction of how my month has gone so far. See, I've only read one, two out of my, or wait, three, because I am counting In His Kiss because I finished it today, and I'm like, I don't care. I know that one went past the mid-month, but I'm counting it anyway. So I have three done for the Everbloom Academy. It's not very much, and then my two folklores, and then my two just kind of other reads over here and everything. So altogether, I've read what, 7 books, but two of them being picture books, of course. But yeah, I just figured I'd be a lot farther in than I am now, and so it's just kind of me being kind of like, but yeah. But the what I've read though has been, fairly decent, so that's not so bad. Okay, so we're gonna take it in like some chunks here. So I tried to make it a little bit bigger so you could see what it is. But when it comes to the Everbloom Academy, I have read, like I said, 3 books, and so they also are 3 books that go for my retro romance readathon. So I needed a sequel, and so I read Deep Midnight by Shannon Drake, which is, of course, Heather Graham. And this is the 3rd book in the Alliance Vampire series. Um, I think this one came out in like the early 2000s, like I don't know if it was 2001 or something like that. I don't remember. If I remember, I will like put the date so that you can see it. And then for Underhyped, I read Caroline's Waterloo, and so everybody has got to follow along with Caroline's Waterloo. I do have the book here, and if you are curious about this Betty Neal's book, but you don't think you'll ever read it, you can watch my daily reading vlogs because I do touch on it every day that I read it, and whenever I finished it, I did um, tell everybody how it ended. So you can do that. And then I needed a historical book, so I read It's in His Kiss by Julia Quinn, which is the seventh Bridgerton book. This one barely hit the mark because I think it came out in 2005, which is our cutoff. I think it was somewhere around in there. It was really close to that. I don't remember, but I know I was like, oh, I can fit in another Bridgerton book for the Retro Romance Readathon, so that's like cool. And yeah, I really like this one. I haven't really give ratings, so I forgot. So Deep Midnight, I give like 3 stars because to me it felt a lot like the second book done over and not very well done. I definitely liked the second book better than this one, but it was still an okay read. Um, but Caroline's Waterloo, I am going to say that I'm giving this one 4 stars because I really did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I liked it. And then It's in His Kiss. I really liked that one. I'm gonna give it 4 stars as well. I liked Gareth and Hyacinth. I thought they were a very well done match, and I thought their banter and things were fun. I think Hyacinth gave Gareth a run for his money because she is definitely not your prim and proper lady, and she's very outspoken and very hard to rein in. And yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. There's even like a little bit of a mystery in this, and there's Gareth does have a little bit of a blunder in there, but it didn't seem to matter a whole lot to Hyacinth. She did get mad, but it wasn't like this giant blow up that ruined everything. And so I liked that there wasn't like this like big breakup or anything like that. She did get mad, but she did get over it rather quickly. I do think it's kind of spicy, so it depends on your spice level. I'm not very good at saying like how spicy something is. For me, it was a little too spicy, but for others, it might not be. There were several scenes and everything, and one of the things that I really don't like is when they have one of those scenes at the very end of the book because I just really think that all that stuff could have been done earlier on in the book, and we don't need that right at the end of the book. I never have understood that when authors decide to do that. It, it's just like, okay, I could just shut this off and we could be done because I don't need to, see that at the end of the book. So that's just me. And I just thought that I forgot to say, but the Everbloom Academy is hosted by Megan from Meg Reads, and she's a lot of fun. She likes middle grade and romance and fantasy, and so I basically follow her because she does like middle grades and things like that. And so I wanted to be able to do like middle grade books for the Everbloom Academy whenever I'm doing it. But since she ran this one in February and my Retro Romance Readathon is ran in February, I had to combine the two. So this time I didn't get to do quite as many middle grade as I was hoping. I have a couple in there, but not as many as I wanted. So then Folklore February is hosted by Kat from Kat's Novel Adventures. And she's all about reading picture books and everything for her readathon, which I think is cool. And it also helps me out because then I can feel like I've participated and I haven't stressed myself out or anything. And so I did read two for that. So I have Lone Popo, and I don't remember who it's by. Just a second. Okay, so Lone Popo is written by Ed Young, and it is a Red Riding Hood story from China. So it was different. You still had the wolf and everything, but this time you had like three kids who are home alone because their mother went off to like the market, and they thought it was their grandmother at the door, and it's the wolf, and how they have to defeat the wolf kind of thing. So it was cute. And then the other one I have is The Mitten. And this one is a Ukrainian folklore story that was adapted, and like the illustrations are done by Jan Brett. And I read another picture book during Christmas time that was illustrated and everything by Jan Brett, and so I thought that was pretty cool. It's a story, and like she adapted it and made, you know, a story out of it. Is a little far fetched because I just didn't quite see how um all these critters got into the mitten, but it had a lot of fun illustrations, and it was still fun. And I don't really like to rate picture books because I mean they're picture books. So I I think the artwork is well. If I think the artwork is well done, then I'll say that. And if I think it's cute, it's cute. But yeah, I don't really know how. I've tried rating them in the past, but there's so many different elements to it that I either like the story or I don't, and so that's kind of how I go. I don't have on here, but I did read a short story for Holmes is Where the Heart Is that is hosted by Jim from Mystery and Mayhem, and it was the case of the Blue Carbuncle, and so that was my participation in that readathon that's going on all month long. I just didn't have enough time to participate in it any more than just the short story, but at least I got to. And the last two books that I have to talk about is The Dark Toad by Angie Sage, and this is 1.5 in the Septimus Heap series. So Sherry and I opted to read the novella that went between the two books, which I think it was good because you get to see Simon and how kind of Dom Daniels' influence on him, and how he's not going to turn out to be very nice, and he is one of the heaps, and it's kind of sad that one of the eldest sons is so full of hatred, but Dom Daniels is probably the reason, and his influence and everything, and just Simon being envious of Septimus Heap and things like that. So it was kind of good. I don't normally read novellas, and I think you could be just fine without reading the novella and everything, but it was interesting, and I think that maybe the witches that are in that may come into play at a later date, and they were kind of interesting. And then I have Word of Mouse by James Patterson and Chris Gravenstein, and this one is an arc that I've had since 2016, so I can officially say I've got it done, so that's kind of cool. I got this at the one book conference that I ever went to that was in Chicago, and I don't know why I've never read it because I like mice books. I don't know why. Like, I like my little mice and everything. And I read this for because I had it out on Libby, and also because I never participate. I always want to, and I always think I'm going to, in Beth from Soul Stains Inc.'s children's literature club that she has. And this time it was to read a book about your favorite animal. And although my favorite animal is an elephant, I had this one already out from Libby, and everybody knows I like to read about mice and rats for some reason. I don't know. I just think they make the cutest little characters. And so yeah, so this one was fun because it's about Isaiah, who um has lived in a lab, and he's a different color. His little relatives are all different colors because they live in this lab and are being experimented on, but they tried to escape and get away. He's the only one that actually gets away because he got stuck in some trash. Well, the other ones got caught and put back in everything, and then he meets another group of mice and kind of becomes involved in their mischief because that's what you call like a group of mice. And everything. But as much as he likes being with them and eating the good foods and stuff that they're eating and stuff, he still wants to see about trying to rescue his family and stuff. So it was cute. And so that's pretty much everything that I have currently read. There's a lot of things that I have on the go. And so I will make myself big again, and then I might talk about that a little bit. So yeah, I've accomplished a little bit, but I still feel like I'm like super far behind and everything. But that's okay. That's me. But I am like reading a lot of things. So I reading a Ghost Watch. I realized that it's set in New Orleans, and so since there's the Mardi Gras readathon going on, I was like, oh, that'll be perfect. I can read that for that. And then I am in the middle of Tasmanian Tango by Jane Corey, hoping that I'm going to be okay with these two characters absolutely despising each other enough to read the whole thing because it is for the Everbloom Academy, or I will have to end up finding another book for that, which I'm not wanting to do. So I'm hoping I can get through it, but it may end up not being one that I can. Then I also have Touch Not the Cat by Mary Stewart that I'm in the middle of. I haven't really gotten very far into it, and it's a little boring for me, so I'm hoping that it's going to pick up at some pace. I've never read a Gothic novel, so if you've read Gothic novels and they are like kind of slow burns, you could like let me know that so then I won't be like expecting it to hurry up and get. But yeah, I want to read it. It's just going slower than I was hoping. And so that's, let's see. Oh, and I am still reading Farmer Boy by Laura Ingalls Wilder. It's the second book in the Little House series for the Little House readathon that's already done and gone, but I'm going to finish it. I'm at 62% into that one, so I'm getting there. I actually started to like it a little bit more once I got past like the 50% point, but before that I was a little bored. But it's not been so bad so far. And so that's like currently what I'm reading and everything. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this mid-month wrap up. Let me know some of the books that you've read during the first part and the ones that you've enjoyed a lot so I can add to my TBR. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!